Travel broadens the mind. Very old saying. It is one of the most correct sayings I've ever heard. A very, very long time ago, a little 13-year-old boy who'd grown up in a little Devonshire village got the opportunity to go on an educational cruise. The cost of it was too much for my parents. My grandparents, however, who were not overly wealthy but did have a few extra pennies, decided that their grandson, who knew nothing of the world, should go. So I got packed off on a plane with a load of people from school, Gatwick to Venice. I think we flew Laker. Our memory's a little bit vague. After all, it's 40 odd years ago. At least that bit's vague. What's not vague is what happened next. We linked up with the ship that was to become my home for 14 days, and later on to have a small claim to fame in the Falklands, the SS Uganda. Anyway, 14 days around the Mediterranean changed me completely. Italy, Turkey, Cyprus. Amazing sights that my little brain was struggling to process. You don't look at the birthplace of Aphrodite and not think to yourself, what the dickens is going on? Where am I? Cyprus is a glorious island. I've never been back. I wish I had. Maybe I one day will. And then came the moment. The Uganda sailed into Alexandria. I remember us being told, no photographs, Egyptian Navy. Remember that very clearly. And of course, from Alexandria, we went to Cairo. The museums, or what widening, the Tutankhamun exhibitions, which have gone around the world now, but hadn't then. And then the moment that changed me. It changed me top to toe. It's probably altered my life. The moment I stood and looked at the Sphinx. A phrase in my head said, hello, old friend. What that meant, I have no idea. Different topic. But my little brain came up with this. Cool, that's been there for thousands of years. I'm only going to be here for a few. At that moment, my brain began to work out. Hold on a second. Little valley in the West Country where I came from. Yeah, this world's huge. There's all kinds of different people in it. There's all kinds of different things in it. I'd already encountered Italians, Turks, Cypriots, of course. But the Egyptians were different. And then there was the Sphinx and the pyramids. And you got that extraordinary feeling that this world wasn't what you thought. I came back. We encountered a Force 8 in the Med on the way back. That was interesting. Finished up in Greece. You could still get on the Parthenon at that point. I remember climbing up it. Can't now. I think people run around and stop you, and you're not allowed as close as you were then. This was 1979, 80. Anyhow. From that day to this, I suspect my brain has been processing the events of that cruise. It changed me. It made me understand that this world was enormous. I learned more in those 14 days, I suspect, than I did in any day at school. Many days I learned. You can't learn what you learned, or what I learned on that cruise in a schoolroom. You can't. It's physically impossible. That's why I get slightly upset when, we mustn't take a child out of school. One day's learning could harm them. Rubbish. Complete and total garbage. I would send every teenage person on a cruise route to somewhere. They'd learn stuff. You learn more encountering the world than you ever will in a classroom. Anyone who says you can learn it in a classroom is talking absolute garbage. Get out and see the world. Get out and meet the world. I've never had the finances to travel the world. Never had it. Probably never will. So I wound up working at one of the world's busiest international airports, Heathrow. I couldn't go to the world, but the world sure as heck could come to me, and it has. I've met people, I've talked to people from all different countries, from all different lifestyles. I'll be brutally honest, if you were to sit at a coffee shop at Heathrow and just sip a coffee, you'd watch the world, you'd learn. As I say, that cruise when I was 13 and a half to be exact, changed me. It changed me completely. Made me understand the world. Made me understand that one country doesn't rule the world. All countries have to work together for this world. We've only got one. And it's astonishing. It's amazing. We need to A, look after it, and B, enjoy it. I grew up in the West Country, looking at the wonderful moorland over in Dartmoor. Haldon Moor, I walked my dog, walked me. Beautiful West Country, staggering. Now I live not far from another major tourist attraction, Windsor Castle. I get to see that every day of my life, and I know people pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands to do that. Folks, the world is there to be enjoyed. Enjoy it. Do not ever. I'm going to sneeze in a minute, I think. Achoo! That was good. Anyway, I'll leave it in there as it happened. And that's the thing. The world happens. Achoo! Oh dear. 2 sneezes. But that's the thing. As I say, the world happens. I get really annoyed with certain countries. America's one of them, where people don't even leave America. Come on! Come out the world. Come out. Isolationist thinking is around. Ugh. Hiding behind a wall in America. You're meant to be the land of the free, the home of the brave. Get out. Anyone who says they want to hide behind a wall is a coward. Get out. Come on. But the world is there to be enjoyed. There's so much of it. I've seen a little bit, not much, nothing like it. Some members of my family have seen a heck of a lot more. But the world is there to be enjoyed. Get out and enjoy it. I was changed completely by that cruise when I was 13 and a half. It changed me completely. From a naive little boy who knew nothing of the world to one who realised, wow, eyes big, the world is interesting. Let's go find it. Let's go play with it. There is no room for anyone to say, I don't care, I'm just going to sit in my little house and hide. Get out and enjoy the world. Children should be encouraged to travel. They should be encouraged to go. Saying to them they can never leave a classroom and they could, one day's learning could have harmed them. As I say, absolute, total and utter bunkum. Couldn't be more wrong. The world is where you learn. Because the world is where you live.